Nike is the biggest sports brand in the world and is the home to the most iconic athletes across all sports. Their roster is unmatched from the likes of LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, and more. In terms of basketball, Nike began their chokehold in the game when Michael Jordan signed to them in 1985. Before that, Converse and Adidas were the supreme footwear choice for NBA players. Fast forward to 2013, the NBA is becoming a Nike or nothing league with the three most famous players in the league: LeBron, Kobe Bryant, and Kevin Durant, all sporting the brand. But there was another up-and-coming basketball player coming off a batch of ankle injuries who was also sponsored by Nike. His name was Steph Curry. The guard, drafted as the 7th pick in the 2009 draft, had shown a lot of promise in his game up to this point, finishing second in the Rookie of the Year race, finishing with the most three-pointers made by a rookie in a season at the time, and a slew of 30-point games. In the 2012-2013 season, Steph had a breakout year, averaging career highs of 22.9 points, 6.9 assists, and 4 rebounds. He also set a new NBA single-season three-point record with 272 three-pointers, beating the previous record set by Ray Allen of 269 in 2005 to 2006 in 53 less attempts. At the end of the season, it was time to renegotiate his sneaker contract, so the Curry family took meetings with every major sneaker company. It came down to two corporations, the first being Under Armour, an upstart company that offered Curry $4 million a year and a chance to become the face of the brand. The second being Nike. But the meeting with Nike went horribly wrong. After wearing the brand for the last 4 years, Nike offered him $2.5 million a year, whilst mispronouncing his name and using a repurposed PowerPoint slide which had Kevin Durant's name on it. The disrespectful meeting was enough to push Steph to Under Armour, signing an offer sheet in 2013. But Nike had no idea how big of a mistake they really made. The 2013-2014 season is when Curry started to emerge as a star in the league. That season, he made his first All-Star appearance and was selected as an All-NBA player, whilst leading the Warriors to their first 50-win season in 20 years. But it was the next season when Steph emerged as arguably the best player in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors hired new coach Steve Kerr, who made major changes to the Warriors' offense, increasing the pace and giving Steph more freedom to shoot. This system allowed the Warriors to become a title-contending team, winning 67 games in the regular season, becoming the #1 seed in the Western Conference. This was largely due to the play of Steph, who averaged 23.8 points, 7.7 assists, and 2 steals per game, and these stats would have been even greater if Curry didn't sit out a total of 17 fourth quarters due to blowing out their opponents. But it was still enough to make him the leading vote-getter for the All-Star game, first-team All-NBA, and most importantly, his first MVP award. Curry still had work to do in the postseason to solidify his place in history, and he accomplished just that. Curry broke a number of three-point records in the playoffs, including the NBA record for most three-pointers made in a single postseason, achieved against the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals. The Warriors beat the Rockets, earning a finals matchup with LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, two premier Nike athletes, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Curry struggled to start the series, shooting only 25% from the field in the first 2 games. But he turned up in the rest of the series, averaging 27.8 points, shooting 50% from the field and 48% from 3, winning the Warriors their first championship in 40 years. Curry's Under Armour sneakers were flying off the shelf, but nobody could have predicted what would happen next. Going into the next season, Steph and the Golden State Warriors were favorites to win back-to-back championships, but nobody expected the level of play that they displayed during the 2015 to 2016 season. To start the season, Curry scored the most points in the first 3 games of the season in NBA history, including a 53-point game against the Pelicans. The Warriors then made NBA history by becoming the first team ever to start 16-0 with a win against the Los Angeles Lakers and going unbeaten for 24 straight games to start the season before losing to the Milwaukee Bucks. Curry went on to break his own three-point record, making 402 threes, becoming the first player in NBA history to make more than 400 threes in a season, and the Warriors went on to beat the 1996 Chicago Bulls regular season record on 72 wins by winning their 73rd game on the last game of the season against the Memphis Grizzlies. At the end of the regular season, Steph became the 7th player in NBA history to join the 50-40-90 club, a group of players that shot 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line in a season. Curry led the league in scoring, averaging 30 points per game, led the league in steals with 2.1 per game, and free throw percentage with 90.8%, becoming the first player to lead all 3 statistics in a season. As a result, Curry was named the league's first ever unanimous MVP, having arguably the greatest regular season in NBA history. At this point, Steph had reached peak popularity, and was the face of the league. Winning a championship would mean he would have had the greatest total season in NBA history. This was a pivotal point for both Under Armour and Nike, because Steph was becoming the face of the league as one of Nike's premier players in Kobe Bryant retiring, reducing the grip and dominance that Nike had on the sneaker market in the NBA. In the first round of the playoffs against the Houston Rockets, Curry only played the first half of Game 1 and 4 due to injury. Despite this, the Warriors were still able to beat the Rockets. Coming back in Game 4 of the second round of the playoffs, Curry came back with a bang, dropping 40 points in an overtime win. Their Western Conference Finals matchup against Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and the Oklahoma City Thunder was the Warriors' hardest postseason challenge yet. After going down 3-1 in the series, everybody thought the season was over, but the Warriors made a comeback and won in 7 games. The finals was a repeat of the season before, and it felt like the winner of this matchup between LeBron and Curry would unilaterally decide who the best player in the NBA was. After going up 3-1, it seemed like the Warriors would cakewalk their way to a second NBA championship, but this is when things took a turn for the worse. Steph played way below his usual standard as LeBron and Kyrie put together 3 straight incredible performances to win the Cavs to 4 wins and the 2016 NBA championship. Curry and the Warriors were being clowned for not being able to get it done despite winning 73 games in the regular season and being up 3-1 in the series. LeBron James claimed his 3rd championship and was being paraded as not only the best player in the world, but perhaps the best player of all time. Curry's fall in perception was bad news for Under Armour, with their stock falling 6% the day after Game 7. The Warriors were looking for redemption the next season by any means possible, and on July 4, 2016, Kevin Durant decided that he would be joining the Warriors in free agency. Having one of the best players ever join one of the best teams ever was a move with both positive and negative ramifications. On one hand, it guaranteed the Warriors championships and a fun offensive brand of basketball that was evident in the 2 back-to-back championships they won in 2017 and 2018. On the other hand, on a personal level for Curry, it forces him into a reduced role while he is still in his prime, meaning that he wouldn't be able to get redemption without an asterisk next to it, simultaneously giving up the chance to win his 3rd MVP. When looking at it from the perspective of the corporations at play, Nike through KD successfully infiltrated the Warriors camp and reduced Under Armour's star power. Even when they won both championships together with Curry, Durant won both finals MVPs. After KD left in 2019, Curry still had to wait for his redemption, dealing with a bunch of injuries in the next 2 seasons. Curry entered a new prime in 2021, leading the league in scoring with 32 points per game and breaking the all-time record for 3-pointers made in the NBA, making his 2,974th 3-pointer against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden in December 2021. The 2022 NBA championship against the Boston Celtics was the most important one for Steph, because in a lot of ways it secured his legacy. It was his first finals MVP, with averages of 31.2 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals per game, proving that he can step up during the finals and could still win without a super team, putting more credence to his previous accomplishments. Steph became the president of his own signature line under Under Armour called Curry Brand. After becoming the NBA MVP and one of the most popular athletes in the world, sales of Curry's shoe line became an influential factor for the brand, with stock prices pivoting based on its success. But it's hard not to imagine the potential heights Curry could have reached from a marketing perspective if he signed with Nike all those years ago.